Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Today's letter is fa. And fa is also a particle, means harf. There are roughly 9 particles which are connectives, hurufil ataf connectives. So they join one word to another word or a sentence to another sentence as we do in a compound sentence. Fa as a connective, the meaning of which is so or then, has been repeated over 2,500 times in the Qur'an. Let's go to some examples and that will help us to understand better and clearer about the use of fa. As a common example, if we take Surah Ar-Rahman, 55 number surah, this surah has 78 ayahs, verses, and it has فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ been repeated 31 times. Then, which of the blessings of your Lord, the Lord of you two, meaning jinns and mankind, will then deny? And every time فَبِأَيِّ begins with fa, then. So Imam al-Qurtubi rahimahullah says about fa has been used as a tartib and ta'aqeed. Tartib means order and ta'aqeed means emphasis. So for these two core purposes, central purposes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used fa. If we see through deep into the verses of this surah, Surah Ar-Rahman, 55th surah of the Qur'an, we will see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions a ni'mah and then Allah says, فَبِأَيَّ لَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَ, and then which of the ni'mah you two, jinn and mankind, of your Lord you will then deny. And it goes like to the end of the verse on the 77th verse and then 78 verses, the last verse. Now, if we look at this one, the ni'mah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions about ni'mah in different verses of the Qur'an. And the ni'mah comes in order, in tartib. Any ni'mah, they don't come just straight away on your plate. The food you see hasn't come straight away on your plate. There are people working behind it. Millions and millions of farmers are working in the fields. Millions and millions of people are working in the factories to follow the processes to make it, bring it as a grain for you. So it becomes a grain of rice, a grain of lentils, a grain of other corns, whatsoever. Allah says about that, Allah creates every single thing for you, مَتَاعًا لَكُمْ وَلِأَنْعَامِكُمْ, for you and for your cattle. So the domestic animals you have, cows, sheep, goats, whatsoever, for all of these things Allah is producing all these vegetations and crops. There is a survey from FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization, a body of UNO, international organization. They calculated that in an average 9.5 billion of crops and grains of different types are grown throughout the year. And do you know how many people we are on this planet? Maybe over 8 billion people. Out of 9.5 billion metric tons of food grown each year, every person gets 1 ton of food per year. And 1 ton means 1,000 kgs, 1,000 kilograms. So which is more than enough But what's the problem? Why people are starving to death? The reason is it's not equally distributed. So the people who are exploiters, tyrant, who are powerful people in the society, they are occupying everything illegally by their power, by exercising their power. So we need a just society. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is why I mentioned this. Imam al-Qurtubi says that fa has been used to show tartib and ta'kid. Allah helps us to understand the Quran in just understanding one word. Please keep watching, sharing, and subscribing my videos. More videos coming, inshallah. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.